Oh, 41 people. So whenever you want to start, it's 7:30, so. But they can hear us.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to our senior parent meeting. So thanks for joining us this evening. We'll probably spend about a half hour here with all of you. And really the purpose of this meeting is just to kind of touch base and kind of make sure you all have an opportunity to ask any questions, and make sure that as we kind of go in the race to the finish here, that we're all on the same page. And I know there's a lot of activities and a lot of fun things that we're going to see each other along the line here. I want to thank Kelly Owens for being here tonight with me as well. She's our school counselor, department chair, and I want to thank Tracy Hale for putting all this together for us. So I'll just kind of start off by kind of going through some things that are coming up on the calendar and what the expectations are. You can see all these notes behind me here. This is our making sure we're getting ready for awards, graduation, all the different things. We have a parade at the end of the year. So just making sure we're ready for everything, and we're all organized. And the counselors are busy checking credits and graduation seals and testing and all those types of things as well, to make sure all of our kids are good to go as far as graduation and their status. So this is a wonderful senior class, the class of 2023, which is the 100th graduating class from Oakwood High School. So that's pretty exciting. And we're really feeling good about that. We're glad we're going to be able to celebrate them. They've just been really a special group, and we're kind of sad to see them go, but we're also excited on all the great things they're going to do. And we've already started hearing about some of those things, whether it be at their senior nights, whether at sports, orchestra concerts, choir concerts, band concerts. So we know they got a lot of neat things ahead. So today, May 4th, may the 4th be with you, was the kind of fun thing we talked about today. But the next thing on the list is prom. We know that's coming up, and kids already have their tickets and everything, and the doors open up at 6:30 at the Dayton Art Institute. And then at 11:30 after that, we'll have after prom. And that is hosted here at the high school. And if kids don't want to go to prom, they can come to after prom. It's just $10 at the door. If they bring a guest, make sure they fill out a guest form for that as well. And then we have on May 10th, we have our spring choir concert. May 11th, we'll have our, call them the daytime awards. Basically, that afternoon, we'll have our 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th grade awards here in the auditorium. And if you'd like to come to that, you're welcome to. But we'll have the students in there. And this is separate from our senior awards evening that we do through Zoom. It's a virtual awards program where we give all our scholarship award winning and some of our other bigger major winning award winners for our seniors we give at that time. But this is more kind of for the students to see and recognize each other. And at the end of the daytime awards, we have the seniors we have them stand up and say what their plans are for the next year. So it's kind of a fun thing for the other kids to see as well. So the daytime awards, I'm going to look back here. We got the 9th grade is at 152. 1252 is the 9th and 10th grade, and then starting at 205 is 11th and 12th grade. So the 12th graders will be at the 205 slot here in the auditorium. You're welcome to stop by if you want to do that. May 12th is the last day to submit photos for the slideshow. So students and all your kids should already have, and you should already have this is with a mailing we sent home, but the last day to submit photos for the slideshow is May 12th. We always do kind of a cinematic retrospect is what it's called at graduation, and we show slides of students, and I think we already have all our baby photos and our class photos that we show during graduation, but if they have any extra photos they want to be as part of that video slideshow during graduation, those have to be submitted by May 12th. We have our spring band concert on the 15th. On May 16th, we'll have a photo out here on the front of the steps onto the high school. And the students should maybe wear, if they're going to college, their college colors or shirt, and they can hold up a sign. Then they'll be able to make those signs ahead of time in the advisory, or they can make them at home, or sometimes kids bring in a banner that they bought. They'll hold that up, and we'll put that picture in the newspaper. It'll be on the website. Easterling comes out and takes that as well. And then May 17th is the last day of classes for seniors. So it's not the last day of class for everybody, but seniors, it's their last day, and that's when we pass out caps and gowns. It's real important for seniors to have all their fees paid, because on that day, if they don't, instead of a cap and a gown, they're going to get a bill. And then once they pay that bill, they'll get their cap and gown. So if you have any questions about whether you owe a fee, please call Jill Shalm here at the high school, and she'll make sure that she gets you that information. Senior exams are May 18th and 19th, but I would say the vast majority of students will be exempt from exams. May 20th, that day in May, and then May 23rd, 24, and 25 are senior service days. So on the 23rd and the 24th, students will be working throughout the district in various places in the community on their senior service. This year, Mrs. Ostick is in charge of senior service. She was last year too. And some students are actually getting some of their service hours done at this time. We're trying to spread it out throughout the year to give them the opportunity to do things that maybe are more important to them, that they have more ownership in what their service is about, and it can be more of a learning experience. So she's tracking those hours for those students. Students don't report to school on that day, on those days, 23, 24, and 25. On the 25th, though, they do report to the front lawn. And at 11:30, we're gonna have a lunch out here, a cookout for them. It'll be put on by student council. And then we have parents that are using money, since during COVID, these kids didn't get to have their JA dances. There's money left over that our parents are donating back to the school, so they're going to provide like a bouncy house. I think we're gonna have a dunking booth and fun activities that we can do out here on the front lawn, and have a little cookout or have food catered in. And the food will be bought by the student council. So that'll be their fun last day for them on the 25th. And then the virtual academic awards for the seniors will be at 6:30 on May 25th. So that'll premiere at that time. The senior breakfast will be 9 a.m. On the 26th. So out here, the parents put that on, and that'll be the PTO and moms and dads out here on the Alumni Plaza out by the junior high. Be really pretty sitting out there. It's going to be beautiful. And we'll have our senior breakfast. We usually have a few teachers talk. We have a nice little breakfast with the kids, and we give them their envelope with all the stuff from their CUME folder. So they'll have stuff all the way from kindergarten all the way up through high school in that envelope. We also usually play a video of their interviews they did when they were at Lang. So it's a fun day to do that on the 26th. Also on the 26th, we'll have our baccalaureate practice. So baccalaureate is a non-denominational religious ceremony for graduation for our graduates, and that is not a school requirement. That is something that is planned by the students and is optional, although Oakwood has a pretty rich tradition of pretty much the majority of students participating in that. And that's at Westminster Church. We'll have practice at 1:30 on Friday. And then on Sunday at 6:30 PM is when we actually have baccalaureate. But we'll have our after the baccalaureate practice that night at 7 PM, we'll have our senior parade. And students can start lining up for that parade, I believe at 6:30. And that'll be down at Lane Stadium. And then the parade will start at 7. And it usually travels down Schaefer, does a U-turn, comes back, and ends up at the high school. So it's a nice parade route. We'll put that out on the website, that parade route, and it'll be publicized. And there'll also be pictures of all of our graduates on Schaefer. There'll be signs that that'll be provided, and those are all going to be there on display. And they'll already have been there for about a week before that, and give you an opportunity to walk down Schaefer and find your graduate's picture, take pictures, and those sort of things. Baccalaureate then is on the 28th, Sunday at 6:30. And we usually take a picture. Kids have to be ready for Easterling to take a picture at 6 o'clock, ready with their cap and gown on in the basement of Westminster Church at 6 o'clock. And that service lasts for about an hour. And we also have music that's built in. There'll be tryouts for that music. If you have a senior that sings or plays any kind of instrument, see Mr. Storist, and you'll be running those tryouts, and you'll either perform at baccalaureate or you'll perform at graduation. Those are two different options. And our choir, senior choir, and our a cappella and our concert choir, they also perform at baccalaureate. And then our senior choir performs during graduation. At graduation, we also have our orchestra. Seniors do play in that, and they'll leave right before the commencement starts and get in line and then come down. And the undergraduate students, once we've done pomp and circumstances, they'll head on home or stay for graduation. So Memorial Day is on the 29th. Commencement practice is a requirement on May 30th. All of our students have to be at commencement practice. It's not optional. It's 1:30 at University of Dayton Arena. And it usually can be an hour, but if the kids aren't really following directions, it might be 2 hours. But if everybody listens and does what they're supposed to do, which they usually do, that'll be done in about an hour. We just kind of run through everything, make sure we have all the right pronunciations on names, make sure we have our slideshows all perfect, and make sure the kids know what they're doing. And then commencement is at University of Dayton at 7 o'clock on May 30th. I want to remind our parents that there are no tickets, so unlimited seating at UD Arena. When your student comes to practice, they'll know what side they're sitting on, and they can tell you that so that you can go ahead and they can tell you, I'm on the left side, and then you know that you're going to sit on the left side. Any other questions you can put in the chat? We have Mrs. Owens that can answer those.
Tracy is just going to be open in the chat here in just a few minutes. So, but I'll be looking at those questions and we'll be answering them as they come in.
The other thing I would just remind parents about is, towards the end of the year with graduation parties and kids starting to feel a little bit too big for their britches around this time, that all school rules still apply. And we want to make sure that they're not in a situation where they do something to jeopardize them walking in graduation. That's never a fun thing to deal with. So they need to make sure they make good decisions all the time. They complete all their graduation requirements, including their senior service.
What time do the doors open to get into commencement? They open at 6 to get into graduation. The students need to be there by 6:15, no later than 6:15 to line up. Students sit as a group in the back at baccalaureate. That's a great question. They come in and we take them downstairs. They get their picture. We line them up and they'll sit all in a group in the front of the church.
Yeah, they'll actually process in and recess back out, and they'll go directly downstairs when they recess out. And then the best thing to do is meet them outside after baccalaureate. The carnival, if you want to call it a carnival, I think that's a good name. That's happening on the 25th at 11:30 of their senior service day. So that'll start about 11:30 on that day. Oh, the rides for the parade, that's a good point. Yes, so first of all, an adult has to be the driver. Okay, and we like to have one the graduate with their one driver. It's not like a parade where you rent a truck and have 6 graduates in the back of the truck. It's not groups, it's each individual graduate, or if they're brother and sister graduates, and it's a long parade, and it's just a lot of fun. They can decorate their cars. It's really a cool thing. So we want to try to celebrate each graduate that way, but they need to make sure that they have an adult, either parent or another adult, actually driving them.
Dr.
If there's a special circumstance that they have to ride with a friend, of course, that's fine, but we're not really wanting to have big groups.
Are parents supposed to come to the senior breakfast?
No, the senior breakfast is really just a student breakfast. We do have parents there that are volunteering and helping PTO to do that. But if you want to stop by the breakfast, it's outside. You're welcome to stop by.
Students do wear their caps and gowns at the baccalaureate. That we do want them to wear their caps and gowns and any cords that they have earned for they can wear those to the baccalaureate. But then at graduation, just the gold the gold honors diploma cord is worn.
Correct. So there's this gold cord they get if they're on getting an honor diploma, and different organizations do different cords. At graduation, we just do the gold cord, like Mrs. Owen said, but if they have other cords they want to wear to either baccalaureate, they can wear those there. If they want to bring them to wear for pictures before or after graduation, that's fine as well. Yeah, I think somebody said, are the gowns all the same this year? Yes, they're all the same. And they get to keep their gown, which is cool.
Are we going to line them up for baccalaureate the same as we've done in the past, Dr. Waller? I just said that the girls will be on one side and the boys will be on the other, but then as soon as I typed that, I wasn't sure if that was going to change this year or not.
Yeah, we'll probably keep that the same for baccalaureate.
Baccalaureate, the students need to be at baccalaureate by 5:45. So I would say the doors open, around that time, about 5:45, but the seniors need to be there at 5:45 for baccalaureate.
And white dresses, the gowns, the graduation gowns are blue. So, we used to, when they had the white gowns, you'd say you should have a white dress. I don't think that's as necessary now with a blue gown. So, that's not as important. We just like the kids to wear either nice slacks and a nice dress shirt, or dress and dress shoes. So we don't want them to wear tennis shoes or flip flops or anything like that.
The church for the baccalaureate, I just went back through all the questions. It is Westminster down in downtown Dayton. That's where the church is.
Yep. It says, what do CTC students do if there's a schedule conflict? Kelly works with the CTC students, and I'll let her answer that question. But we'll work it out. I mean, I know they're gonna be able to work that out.
I'm not sure. I mean, I think when you're saying CTC students and schedule conflict, they'll be finished at both Centerville and Kettering by the time we're doing baccalaureate practice and graduation practice. The last day at Kettering is the 12th, and I think Centerville's is about the same time. Theirs is probably the 12th, or might be the same as what ours is. So there won't be any conflicts for any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on First and Wilkinson. That's correct. And if kids want to sit on it, if they have a preference on the side they want to sit on, that won't be a problem. Can two students' friends ride together for the parade? That's fine. But like I said, we really like to recognize each graduate. So we don't want big groups, and it's not a parade where you're going to have 20 people on a float. It's more individual adult driving a car. But if they, like I said, if they want to go with a friend, they've done that in the past. But it's kind of a neat thing to have a parent and that student just have that special time for them in the car, but they're welcome to be with a friend as well.
Your seniors should be able to tell you which side they're going to be on for graduation. So after practice, they should be able to, come home and tell you which side they're going to be on, so that you can find your seat accordingly.
Because that practice, the kids all sit, we all tell them where they're sitting for graduation, and we tell them, okay, now you know where you're sitting. So go home and let your parents know. We also usually post that seating chart on the Google Classroom for students too, so they can share that with you. Already answered it. Yeah. That's fine if the kids want to throw candy. Somebody asked in the parade. Can kids ride with two parents, a sibling, and a grandfather? Absolutely. Go for it. The service hours, yes. I think there's 18 service hours the kids have to get all together, but Amy Ostick tracks all that. We got that all covered. So that's not going to be an issue. They'll have their 2 days and their fun day, and they'll meet the requirements. There's no guest limits for baccalaureate. It just depends on how many people the church holds, but there's no tickets. Yes, they can throw candy at the parade. You do not have to return gowns this year. You get to keep their gown. Since we went with all same color gown, they get to keep those this year. So they won't have to return them directly after. As far as recording the parade, we don't have anybody to do that. That's, up to individual people if they want to record it, but we don't have that. We don't have that recorded.
They cannot decorate their caps. No decorations on the caps. They can do that when they graduate college.
Here's their gown. I think I showed this at a parent senior meeting earlier, but this is their gown. They'll get. Show you that. Are you advocating for baccalaureate? Like I said, baccalaureate is not a requirement. So it's up to, we have kids that don't come. We have kids that come. It's just up to the individual family and student if they want to come. So whatever that makes them happy. Any other questions? Good questions. That's why we do this. I'm glad you like the gowns. Thank you. We also have some little special thing the kids are going to get because they're the 100th class, but we're going to keep that as a surprise. Any other questions? This is going to be recorded, so it'll be on our website. If somebody couldn't be here tonight and they want to watch this, if they're bad weather, will the carnival be inside? There will not be bad weather. It's going to be beautiful. That's all I can say.
Typically on the daytime awards, the seniors, usually about the only thing that we award that day is we just say where they're going to college and they'll stand up. So their big night is the evening program.
Yeah, but we do have for the daytime awards, if any student's getting award, we do have because a lot of those are coming from departments or teachers. We do have those people reach out and make sure the parents know so they can come. And then for the evening awards, we will we just basically want to make sure that since those are virtual, it makes it a little easier and you're not having to spend your night in another location. But that's when we'll do all of our honor roll and scholarship awards and some of our other bigger awards. I can guarantee good weather for what's TDIM? I must not be.
That day in May.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be even better.
I just figured that one out.
Yeah.
It'd be
I
nice.
just figured out LOL, so
I'm not even going to ask you just in case you get it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that day in May is going to be amazing. Any other questions? Well, like I said, this will be on and recorded. You can watch it. I'm sure a lot of you will just want to watch it several times, just because it was so good. But also, if you have questions, you can email or call. Lori Peters knows a lot of answers, my administrative assistant. So that's probably the person to call first. And then you can also email myself or Kelly and we'll get an answer to you as well. But we're looking forward to it. It'll be nice as a parent. My daughter a couple of years ago graduated, so all these things happen pretty quickly. So just make sure you enjoy it and you have fun and you relax a little bit and spend time with your kids and just enjoy and soak it all up. And it's going to be great. And like I said, these are a great group of students, and we know they're going to do great things. So we're really excited about it. So you guys have done a great job as parents. So we want to thank you for that and all the work you've done and your support. So I want to thank Kelly, Tracy, Lori Peters, and all the people here at the school, all of our teachers for all the work they do. Thanks for joining us this evening. And I guess take care.
Bye.